Hello gamers, I'm Shadeslayer. Here are the results from day 4 of the PFGEsports Teamfight Tactics Tournament. The results have been adjusted in matches where all 8 registered players couldn't participate. Match 1 was won by Niole Grande. Match 2 was won by T1 The Shy. Match 3 was won by Set. Match 4 was won by Leopard is Cracked. Here is the leaderboard after the first set of matches. Match 5 was won by Niole Grande. Match 6 was won by the Grandfather. Match 7 was won by Set. Match 8 was won by GM104. Here is the leaderboard after the second set of matches. Match 9 was won by Niole Grande. Match 10 was won by Ripcord Dead. Match 11 was won by Attyrockstar. Match 12 was won by Apto Rising. Here is the leaderboard after the third set of matches. Match 13 was won by Xabhii. Match 14 was won by Arcane XO2. Match 15 was won by Attyrockstar. Match 16 was won by Leopard is Cracked. Here is the final leaderboard for Group B. The top 8 players qualified to the round of 16. Congratulations to all the players who qualified. Hey guys, joining me is Attyrockstar. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey man, nice to hear, that I qualified from you because
Yeah.
I was not sure considering my first 2 games where I came third and fifth. But yeah, feels good to have qualified, and I was not really looking at third considering the first 2 games that I had. But yeah, it feels good for sure.
Awesome, man. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Atharv, and my full name is Atharv Sardesai, and I'm 19 years old, and I basically started playing TFT because I hated League at a certain point in my life. This is before TFT got announced. Then, I wanted to play something like League, but not League, if that makes sense. So TFT had recently been announced at that time, so I thought, why not take it up? And I was a pretty for fun player in season 1, and I used to play on US. So I hit diamond in season 1, but again, this is what 3 years back when I didn't know anyone in the community because I didn't know that a community existed in the first place. And season 2 was me trying to play on Garena and hitting. I was pretty close to this thing high elo, but I was just I don't know I didn't take it seriously. I guess I ended diamond 3, and now season 3 I've been playing. I'm diamond 4 right now on EU West, and yeah, that's my journey. And transitioning from League was pretty easy because of the universe. But yeah, definitely you need to know who does what, because in League you have 4 abilities, right? In TFT you have only one. So
Right.
you need to know who does what, their damage ratios and everything. So yeah, I had a lot of fun transitioning for sure.
I mean, that was pretty much the story with most of the OGs today in the TFT community as well. Most of them are
Yeah,
players who have played League of Legends for a long time, and of course, being in the same universe, it was a pretty straightforward transition to TFT. Let's talk a little
yeah.
bit about your matches thus far in the PFG Esports TFT tournament. The last round, the round of 32 Group B, it was a pretty
Yeah.
stacked group, and you managed to come in third. So first up, congratulations on that amazing feat. Could you walk us through what was your preparation going into that and how the matches kind of played out?
For sure, yeah. First of all, thank you, Kiran, for the all the kind words. Like, I mean, don't think I honestly played well, but like, yeah, in the last two games, I definitely picked it up. Preparation wise, like so like me, grandfather, Gaurav, that is, Prof. Donger, who's Adrian, like all of us, like queue up in the night and we like play together, ranked. And even if we're not playing together, we're on Discord trying to help each other out, become better players, and like giving feedback and all. And like a lot of people contribute to this. So like whenever someone from the community is coming top four, it's pretty much not just him who's done it alone. It's like a lot of people who, of course, like full credit to him, but like a lot of people, willingly help out and all, which makes the climb fun. And at the same time, it makes it interesting. And, you don't get bored and like, tired of the game, if that
Right.
makes sense. So yeah, like just doing that every day. And I mean, preparation wise, yeah, that's it. Like apart from that, like we play maybe one or two games in the day, but like everyone has like work to do, so like we don't get that much time. But yeah, like coming third, I feel like after the first two games, as I told you, because like I think in the four games that we played, I placed third, fifth, and then I came first in first. So
Right.
like I remember before after the third game, Bishi telling me that bro, agar tu first nahi aaya to qualify nahi hoga and stuff like that. Like I got really scared after that. And I mean the way I lost the first two games, especially the second game where I came fifth, I was very sad because like I had a really good comp and I expected to come top four, but it is what it is. Like it happens sometimes. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the performance at the end. If you ask me after two games, I'd be pretty upset right now. So yeah,
But you saved the best for last, and you were able to
definitely, yeah,
eventually
definitely,
comfortably see the matches through. I mean, we did
yeah,
have a chat earlier about a few of the items that are similar in League of Legends as well as TFT, and how that sometimes
yes,
kind of
yes.
lands you up in a mess, especially when it comes to comms. Could you elaborate a little on
It
that?
does, yeah. So I basically play like all the league tournaments as well, which happen right now. So I don't just play TFT, I play league as well. And like we are in a semi decent team, like all of us, we're like five people constant. And whenever we're having like practice, there are certain items that are completely different in TFT and league, but they're the same. They look the same. So like they don't have the same item name, but they look the same.
Right,
The graphic of the item. So every time, like when I'm playing, say Trundle Jungle, like who's a tank.
right,
So I need to buy a tank item, and there's this item called Gargoyle Stone Plate, which is the same item as Protector Spatula in TFT. So
right.
like when I'm asking people like what I should build or stuff like that, they always tell me. Then I suggest them, bro, should I build Protector Spat? And they're like, bro, there's no Protector Spat in League. Like, what are you talking about? So, like it leads to a lot of fun times, and then I'm like, oh shit, we're not playing TFT. Like then I'm like, oh, Stone Plate.
Right.
So like that's also happened to us many times, and my teammates get quite fed up because they're like, bro, say the right things, like because it's a very high pressure environment. Like if
I
you
know.
mess up, then like it has repercussions. So yeah, but yeah, definitely fun times.
Fun times indeed, man. So now you're playing TFT pretty seriously. Do you have
Yeah.
any aspirations when it comes to pursuing maybe a professional career in the game?
So if there is like a professional scene, like a proper professional scene that comes out, I definitely take it up. But like as of now, like we play like semi seriously, which means that we play seriously, but at the same time we don't neglect what is going on in our lives. In my case, I'm a college student
Hmm.
and I'm in second year of college. So like I'm going to be, taking my education like right now because of lockdown. Like I don't have anything much to do.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather play over, doing recreational stuff.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. So it's just that time allocation is slightly easy right now because college is closed. Obviously, there are summer break going on because like the session's finished. And in the second or third week of July, I think we reopen, which is also not going to be very stressful because like it will be home classes. So there's no traveling involved. So it's just like attending like 3 hours of classes, and then you're free again unless you have projects. So yeah, like you can definitely find time. I don't know about the others because they all work, and also like I think it will be pretty difficult for them.
Right.
But for me at least, like I find it to be pretty easy in the lockdown because like I don't have too many things to worry about, if that makes sense.
Perfect,
Because I
man.
stay at home right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm guessing right now with the current pandemic situation and with most of the students as well as
yeah,
employees who are working from home as well, they get a lot
yeah,
more time to indulge in,
free
especially
time,
games
yeah,
like TFT, where you can just take like 30 minutes out of your work, get that game in, and then jump straight back
definitely.
into it. So,
Definitely, and it's a good way to remove fatigue as well, like, right?
right.
Because you get very stressed out at
Yeah,
work and then you play one game of TFT.
it's a very good stress buster in that. Uh,
Definitely, yeah, yeah.
awesome, man. So, any final shoutouts?
I mean, so I have a couple shout outs. First one I'd like to give to Prof, because like he hyped me up in the first interview, I remember, but then I didn't really play up to expect it. I definitely played well, but like not as well as this thing I wanted to, because Prof set a very high standard on yesterday, no, today actually, because the game ended today.
Yep.
And he came first in his entire group. So like that's pretty commendable. So Prof definitely gets a shout out, and the second shout out goes to Grandfather, who like we have like a very friendly rivalry going on, and we like to banter a lot. Like we like to type in game whenever this thing. So like when we were in two lobbies together today, I think, and in the
Yeah.
first lobby, like yeah, so in the first lobby when I beat him in like one game, I typed question mark in all chat, and like when he knocked me out in the first game, he typed get out, like you're not good and stuff like that. So like yeah, we have a lot of friendly banter going on. And third shout out goes to Bishi, who like keeps telling me to go on even when I'm tilted, like I don't want to play anymore, and like I'm having like fifth five fifths in a row in TFT, and he's like, no bro, you've got this, you can win and stuff like that. And yeah, these three get the major shout outs. Smaller shout outs go to like Master and Orion and all. Like these people are like they're very regular to the TFT scene, and they show up every single day to play with us, and like indulge in TFT as a game, which helps in improving first of all the people, because like we've seen a lot of people who've taken TFT seriously just because of the tournament. So a shout out goes to Paytm as well for organizing such an amazing event to like give people the platform. Like we've seen a lot of people who we didn't know in the community, because I'm one of the starting members of this community. So like I know a lot of people who have made it to the top, who were not really good 2 months back, but now are good. And secondly, who I don't even know, like I don't recognize them. I have never seen them play with us, and like we play very regularly. So like
Right.
all the known people are like with us. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to see, and like people are coming and indulging in Discord in numbers every day. Like we have a lot of people who are first timers who are coming. We're seeing growth in the Discord community. We're seeing growth in the Facebook community. Everyone's being active and stuff. So yeah, like a shout out to the entire TFT community as well. But yeah, like it's a lot of fun hanging out with people of like-minded interests who like are as passionate about the game as you are. They sometimes fight and banter over who's better and what comps are better, and go for some very troll shit at times. Like I mean, Star Guardian Jinx, for everyone who plays TFT, they know what I'm talking about. So yeah, like it's a very fun environment for all of us. But yeah, like at the end of the day, it's we all want to become better players, like without pulling the other one down. And I feel like we are doing that pretty successfully as of now. And hopefully, we have like Indian representation in the world scene of TFT ASAP, so that we can be classified as a major region.
Indeed, man. Uh, thank you so much for joining us today. All the very best for your round of 16 as well as the matches ahead in the PFG Esports TFT tournament. There's a very good chance as well that you probably get to play with your friends, Prof. Donga, as well as the grandfather, maybe even in
Yeah,
the
in the
round of 16 itself. Maybe
yeah,
in
could
the
be
finals later, or maybe even in both. So that is going to
definitely, yeah.
be something that I'm sure the entire community is going to be looking forward to. Thanks again for joining me, man.
Definitely,
Cheers.
yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. Cheers, dude.
Hey guys, joining us is Xabhii. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hi, Kiran. How are you? I'm good, man. Thank you so much. Thank
Tell
you so much
us,
for having me.
thank you so much for joining us, man. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yep. So my name is Abhishek Anand. I go by the in-game name Xabhii. but people know me as Master mostly. And yeah, there's a story to it why they call me Master. That revolves mostly around because I used to be a teacher way back around 6 years back. And yeah, there's that. That's why they know me as Master. But my in-game name is Xabhii.
Awesome, man. You're also one of the OGs from League of Legends who've eventually made the transition to TFT. Tell us a little bit more about your journey.
Right. So that's the thing. I started 9 years back with League of Legends. I mean, before League of Legends, the only game I used to play was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and that's why the name Xabhii. Uh,
Right.
because I had a team called Team X, and that's where the name originated from, Xabhii. It was as simple as that. And then finally came across this weird game in which weird people are fighting each other, and they're fighting pretty passionately. I used to see. I was like, what is this? What is this passion? And we, I mean, okay, this doesn't look fun, but is it fun? Should I try it? And then I tried it, and then yeah, it's been 9 years. I'm still stuck to it.
Awesome, man. You've had some tight competition yesterday in the round of
Oh yeah.
32 Group P matches. Tell us a little bit about that.
So that's the thing. See, day three, I would say the day three packet was okay. I mean, there were good players, and then there was average players. But then day four was pretty sweaty. I mean, there were so many good players there. I mean, even in my first game itself, there were two diamonds, including me, and three platinum players, and it was pretty tight. I ended up coming fourth in the first game. So yeah, day four was pretty intense. It tells a lot about how this tournament is going to be. I mean, the round of 16 is going to be an intense battle. I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what was your prep going into the Group B matches and some specific strategies you used as well during those.
So that's the thing. That's the thing about TFT. You cannot really prepare too much for it. Meta keeps on shifting every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And the patch came recently. It came on Wednesday actually. And to think of it, almost everyone was new to it. You know, as in, like, you cannot say that there is a definite comp that you can play and win the game. You have to figure it out. And like right now, even the Korean meta is in play. So you basically play whatever you get.
I
You
think,
play around what the game offers you. And
yeah.
yeah,
And I think
that
that
was my strategy
was,
basically.
and it was a reflection of how things played out as well eventually in Group B, with a lot of these results swaying both ways. There were players who started very strong and
Right.
eventually had a falling off towards the third and fourth set, while most of the OG players who eventually qualified were the ones who had slightly shaky starts but eventually
Right.
figured their way out. And something that Attyrockstar had also touched upon was the fact that now with the new patch, people were just trying to figure out the meta as and when the tournament progressed, trying to find out what is it that the players were doing and kind of just responding to that. So I think that kind of was shown with the strong results that came by as and when the tournament progressed.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean the meta and how people were playing the game basically.
Right.
So there were a lot of new faces we haven't interacted before. There was this guy Neo. Somehow he ended up winning first three sets.
Yes, Neole
And
Grande.
I, yeah, Neo Grande. He ended up winning first three set. I was surprised. I never heard about this guy. I mean, we have a community, TFT South Asia, which is a pretty, I would say, dope community in a terms that almost all the good players are there. Uh, I was surprised to see this guy, and then the builds he was going. I mean, it wasn't something I would build in 10.13, and even then he was winning. So I tried to figure out, okay, what's happening? How is someone who is playing a 10.12 comp winning, and someone like me or Dandes who have basically been aware of the entire meta, and we read a lot, we watch a lot, and even though we were losing, so what's happening? Then somehow we tried to figure out, okay, fine, we'll have to play on our strength, and we'll have to do what the game asks us to do, basically. Like if the game offers you a certain comp, go for it. Do not tunnel into a certain comp. Uh, that's the mistake I did in my first game. I tunneled into the Riven Sorcerer comp, and I came fourth. And then in the final game, I was against Neole Grande. I was pretty nervous because I had to come first to qualify. There was no other way. Even if I came second, I would not qualify. So there was that pressure, and then I am against this guy who has straight A's basically for the
Right.
last three games. So yeah, I had to bring up my game, and yeah, so I won the last game. Yeah,
You won the last game and you
yeah,
managed to finish fifth overall and are now in the round of 16. So congratulations again, Xabhii.
yeah,
Gaming is a casual pastime for some gamers, whereas
right,
it does have a significant impact for some of them. What would you
right.
say is gaming for you?
Gaming for me is basically the deciding factor in almost everything I've done in my life. So if I tell you about myself, I started doing power engineering. I mean, power plant engineering, and then I jumped into teaching. That's why I got the name master. Uh, and then around 7 years back, something clicked. Like when I went into gaming, I finally decided that okay, fine, I enjoy this thing too much. The communities are good, the people are good, and I mean, I wanted to know how do you make this thing. If there is a game, and that's a massive game, if I talk about League of Legends or Call of Duty, I basically wanted to understand how these things work. So all of my career decisions, all of the switches I've done, all of the uh, company switches or the I would say role switches I've done, were mostly based around this fact that okay, I want to stick around gaming. So right now, I'm in a game development company as a game product manager.
Wow.
We make games, virtual reality games, and yeah, so I can say like I started as a power engineer, which is basically mechanical engineering plus electrical engineering, and then I ended up coding for a gaming company. So is that
So you've had quite the journey as from
yeah,
the start, and now you've basically made or found a way to make passion your livelihood. So I'm super happy
true.
for you, man. Any final shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to give shout outs to first of all BCA at start with. I mean, this is one single guy who have made this entire League of Legends and the TFT scene possible just on his back alone. And then the fact that we have such an awesome community with Dandes and Grandfather and Prof Dong, Leopard is there. So yeah, I mean, I would specifically like to shout out to some of the people from Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi, and Pakistani community because there is really tough challenge. There's really tough competition, and what competition does is it makes you better eventually.
Right.
And some of the best TFT players right now are from Pakistan. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Okay.
Mad is there, Golio Prasad. There are some really good Bangladeshi players who give a lot of competition. Gives us a good run in all of almost all the tournaments so far. So yeah, I would like to give shout out to the entire South Asian scene. I mean, I'm almost diamond right now. I mean, I keep coming back and from diamond.
Right.
Uh, but if I have to give credit to why I was able to reach diamond or why am I aiming for masters or great masters, that's mostly because of this community. This community helps me grow in a way that okay, I feel competition obviously. That motivates me to get better. Basically, even the games we play casually or the tournaments we play, and then the fact that okay, if anybody from community is able to do it, then I must be able to do it. I should be able to do it. I just have to know what he's doing.
Right.
Uh, and yeah, there's that's the thing. I mean, I'm pretty much in awe of what this entire South Asian community is. And yeah, big shout out to Bishi for making it happen.
Awesome.
And then there is our Santa. Yeah, I don't want to miss out on Santa. Subham Arora. He has been an integral part of that as well, entire journey.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us, Xabhii. All the very best for the round of 16 as well as the matches to come. The competition's getting stiff. I'm sure you're going to come out in flying colors, man. See you on the other side.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Kiran. Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
For any queries, reach us on our Discord channel. Good luck, have fun.